This episode of Gareth Jones on Speed is brought to you by beer and pizza.
Gareth Jones on Speed!
Welcome to Gareth Jones on Speed, and living up to our name, we're going straight into it. I want to talk about the cars that we're all driving at the moment. Zog, you're spending some money on your Porsche, aren't you, at the moment? How are the wheels looking?
I think, given that it's been at the garage for 2 weeks longer than it was supposed to be, I think it's going to be an expensive one this time. So, yeah, I am spending some money on it.
Are you? I meant to ask, are you going for the Boxster wheels?
Actually, I haven't. Okay, here's the thing. I know exactly what you mean about putting kind of silly big wheels on old cars, but I think that isn't quite the thing. These box wheels actually match rather well, and it's a matter of a 17 rather than a 16-inch wheel. But I think I'm going to refurb the ones that are on there at the moment.
The right choice.
Partly because it's cheaper, and partly because I don't really like the idea of sort of just throwing away the old set of wheels.
Are they good wheels?
Yeah, they're okay. They're a bitch to clean, but other than that, how often do you clean wheels?
Zog, have you heard about Richard's new car? You haven't got it yet, have you, Richard? Have you?
What?
Richard's getting a new car. I know this.
Do tell.
You'll get.
Wait, you've put a deposit down?
No. I'm a car journalist. What do you think?
Richard's got a car.
What have you blagged?
He's got a car on a long-term loan, haven't you, Richard?
Yeah.
And the only thing, can I just set this up, because this takes me great pleasure in saying this. Right, Richard's got a car, a free car, not free car, a car to work and use for a while, right? Yeah,
he's evaluating it, Gareth.
He's evaluating it, yeah.
Now, a few things to point out. First of all, if you're listening, genuinely, Zog doesn't know about this because I haven't told him.
I really don't.
Secondly, now this is going to become relevant, and you'll find out why in a minute. But though I borrow cars from Evo magazine, the nice people who pay me money to write stuff occasionally, I pay for my own petrol. I don't claim it back. I don't do any kind of fiddle or anything like that. I put my hand in my pocket every time I fill up a car. Now, I had a Suzuki Swift Sport for a year. Nice car, quite frugal. Had to run it on super unleaded, but still didn't cost me a lot to run on petrol. Remember, I pay for my own petrol.
Hang on. Yes, thank you, Richard. Richard's new car.
Yeah.
I live in London. I do a lot of urban motoring.
Yeah.
It's a Vauxhall.
I pay for my own petrol. What was the worst Vauxhall you could have if you pay for your own petrol?
It's not
Worst Vauxhall.
It's not a British or a German Vauxhall, Zog, or Belgium. Where else do they build Vauxhalls?
It's going to be. It's a big American car, isn't it? It's going
Not American.
No, Australian.
Yeah!
It's Holden.
VXR8, my friend.
Fantastic.
So the spec, you've got a V8 with a 4.2 litre?
No.
What is it?
4.2's for losers, my
I'm
friend.
sorry, is it a 5?
6 whole litres. Just to recap, I pay for my own petrol.
Yes, we're launching Richard Aid here. If you want to send money to Richard to help him pay for the petrol of this car in the next 12 months, send cash, please, to onspeed at garethjones.tv. What kind of performance are you going to get fuel-wise from this, Richard?
It's going to have a number in it, but just the one. I'm predicting 8.
I mean, it's going to sort of...
Oh, it's catastrophically thirsty, and yet I am more excited about this than almost anything. I cannot imagine even the birth of my first child would make me as excited as this. I'm so beside myself, and I keep calling them. They've told me it's supposedly the boat's landed from Australia. The cars are on the ship, but they need to take them off. They need to prep them. It's probably going to be another 2 or 3 weeks at least. I was texting the guy at Vauxhall today going, please tell me when it's going to be
Very
here.
important stuff. Very important question.
Yes.
What colour?
Well, here's the other thing, right? The nice people at Evo magazine asked for a blue one. They don't make the blue anymore. Which is, okay, fine, the blue's all right.
Richard, you said that in an Australian accent.
Did
They
I?
don't make the blue anymore.
Just getting
Little Bluey.
Bluey, mate. One man at Vauxhall thought that we were due a red one. I said, I'm not so sure about the red. He went, what did you want? They've started doing a grey. Grey. The grey looks nice. You can't have black because black cars photograph really badly. All the details get sucked into this big black blob. It looks terrible in magazines. So not a black one. Grey, good. They only do 4 colours over here.
Anthracite grey.
Yeah. But they only do 4 colours. They do silver, red. They did do blue. Now it's grey, and they do black, and that's it. That's all you've got. So limited choice on colours, limited choice on options. You can have sat nav or not, and that's it. And the only other thing which I really, really want, and it may come from the factory like this, I may have to have it put on later, is performance exhaust. so that it will
Because
go
it's not going to be quite loud
It's not that loud. It's not that loud as it comes out of the factory. But of that first boat of VXR8s that arrived last year, for the first lucky people who'd already got their cars, and I haven't yet, they had brought 110 cars over on a ship from Australia, first shipment, and 100 of those 110 had the performance exhaust already fitted. Because
And you've got one.
Well, I don't know yet. I don't know. They can't tell me which car I've got. They can't tell me what colour, what spec, what exhaust, anything. It's in the country. Do you know how frustrating this is?
I think from your body language, we're getting some idea.
We're getting some idea. I swear to God, if it was here now, I would be sitting outside revving it up and you could hear it on this microphone on the first floor in the house. It's going to be magnificent, but I haven't got it yet, and it's driving me
Just reassure me about one thing. This performance exhaust, it's not going to look like one of those really silly, huge exhausts that, your average boy racer sticks on the bottom of a slight.
If you have the standard exhaust,
barrel.
you get a pair of twin pipes. If you go for the performance exhaust, you just get a pair of oval single pipes. I think, but I don't know because I haven't got my car yet, and I want it now. I'm being very, very childish about this. It's a free car.
That's
okay.
We
to complain.
We're going to be as childish about insisting on how getting it right.
So when it arrives,
it's
arriving soon. By the time, hopefully, we convene again to podcast to the nation and the world, I'll have my lovely Vauxhall VXR8, also known as the Pontiac.
That's right, and it looks great with the Pontiac nose, I think. Have you seen it? Yeah.
I'm not so sure.
Let's record the next show in the car.
Hey,
okay.
we'll go around the block and we'll go... Yeah.
Actually, no, I think the next show might be recorded in my next car.
Hello.
Is that cue for a sketch?
No, not a cue for a sketch. No,
sorry,
no.
That does sound like a cue
Okay,
for a sketch.
Yeah.
Hang on.
It could have been a cue for a sketch. Should we do a sketch? No.
Well, let's tell us about your new car, then.
I'm not quite there yet, but I should know in the next few days whether or not I will be driving for, April and maybe a bit of May, and if I can extend it to May of next year, a Mini Clubman. Yeah, I'm genuinely interested in the Mini Clubman. I love cars with suicide doors. I love the RX-8. I love the big Phantom. I love this little Clubman, even if the doors are on the wrong side. And I think it's actually made the Mini a bit more of a useful car than it was, and I want to put it to the test, and I want to see. So I'll let you know how my Clubman compares to your 6.97 litre Behemoth.
I'm guessing it'll be smaller and slower.
Insightful broadcasting from Gareth Jones on Speed.
The kind of insightful journalism you've come to expect from us. And you join us on lap 21 of this very exciting A1 GP race. And the Chinese entry is coming up to lap one of the newcomers in A1 this year, the Tibetan entry. And, oh my God, they're smashing into them. Oh, this is horrible. Oh, the humanity. Oh, they're firing plastic bullets into their pits. Surely this can't be allowed. It's not right.
Who are you? What are you doing in the country move? Get your hands off the microphone!
Oh, we are bringing a correct report regarding this A1 Motorsport event. Everything is fine. They started it. Nothing to see here. Return to your homes.
Gareth Jones on Speed. It's on. It's so on.
Here on Gareth Jones on Speed, we don't just obsess about Formula One, and we don't just obsess about road cars. We're vaguely interested in a few of the race series as well, as you know, A1 Grand Prix, of course. But NASCAR, have you seen this great dream of named drivers like Jacques and Dario going to NASCAR and struggling? Do you guys watch NASCAR? Have you watched NASCAR ever? Be honest.
I have seen, I've seen a little bit of big, crude-looking American cars driving one way around an oval. I've watched a bit of that, and and I get a little bit more interested because I'm not, to be honest, very interested in NASCAR when I hear that someone like Jacques Villeneuve or Darragh Finkery is going there and
Struggling.
How do you watch NASCAR? What's is it on
with a
cable
beer in your
telly?
hand?
Yeah, exactly. And a firearm in the other.
Well, you see, the thing is, I don't really understand NASCAR. There seems to be all these series. There's the Craftsman Truck series. There's the what's it called? The
Anheuser-Busch series or something.
Yeah,
or is that the same as the truck? Is that trucks?
I don't know. And as someone who really is interested in all motorsport, if it's not clear for me in this country, even though they keep telling us NASCAR's going to sweep the world, it's not happening, is it?
If you're not called Jim Bob, you just can't understand.
Yeah,
I was going to say, because I don't know which series is there's one called the Sister Lover Cup, and I can't remember. Is that one the trucks? I don't know.
Yeah.
Jacques can't get sponsorship, can he? He can't put a team together. He can't bring the money. I mean, how sad or serious is that? Or is that just realistic?
Maybe
Well,
just
he's a Canadian, isn't he? I mean, no one wants that. Well, no offence to Canadians. Sorry, I really like Canadians. I've got Canadian friends. I just don't like Jacques Villeneuve.
But it must be something just about how sort of far apart the worlds of NASCAR and NASCAR fandom and F1 open wheel racing and all that kind of stuff, which, the NASCAR organisers, they want to broaden the appeal of the sport by bringing in some
international drivers,
But it doesn't seem to be working for the NASCAR fans, does it? Otherwise they'd be
it reminds me of sort of the approach of American football, which has been trying for 20-something years to get a major toehold in Britain and just hasn't managed to do it. We're still obsessing with rugby and soccer, listen to me, football. Talking of football...
He's a man's man, old Jonesy. American football is just bloody poncy rugby, isn't it? I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, they're just girls in padding, aren't they?
Yeah, with shoulder
What I quite
pads,
like
basically.
about rugby, not being a particular sports fan apart from sort of motorsport, is that, rugby players lose an arm and they just go, all right, get on with the game.
Just a flesh
wound. I can carry on.
Footballers sort of trip over a bit and then go, I'm really hurt, I need to get off. Yeah, rugby's a proper man's game. That's why I don't think we want to see a sort of version of a bit like rugby, but played with people who are all padded up. Didn't this programme used to be about cars?
Yes.
Let's get back on track here.
All right, okay. Well, let's see if I can steer us back from ball sports back to cars. And I'm going to go...
He's got a full opposite lock on that to try and gather it all up again.
I was expecting some kind of synthesis that would involve, I don't know, playing football with small cars and
Did you
giant
notice,
balls.
by the way? I just did when I said opposite lock. I did the international gesture for opposite lock.
That's
Now,
right,
if you're
waving
listening,
your hands
you
in
will
midair.
know if you like cars. You will know what I'm talking about. Every time you go opposite lock, you do the gesture.
Yeah.
I'm doing it now. You know what I'm doing.
Yeah, but it's not just a hand gesture. You have to turn the hand wheel and it's the foot to the floor
Yes,
as well.
I find myself
And you tilt
doing
your
the
head
foot.
slightly as well.
Yes, of course. You do the oversteer face, as seen in Autocar magazine every week. Steely glare into the middle distance. Dab of oppo. Man.
So if I could bring this conversation back from ball sports to motorsports...
Sorry, I just remembered something else as well. No, because the other thing, since we're talking about hand gestures, is that have you ever done that thing? You go into the pub and you order a Coca-Cola or a lemonade or something like that, and someone goes, I'm going to drink, and you go, no, I'm driving. But instinctively you go, I'm driving. And you do a gesture. Again, if you're listening, you know the gesture I'm doing. Yeah. It's a way of just communicating. Steering wheels, the invisible steering wheel, is like a sort of whole new body language in itself.
That's where there's a recognition that you're in an environment where people's understanding may be impaired by alcohol, and you want to make everything absolutely blindingly clear.
With a paralinguistic cue. That's what it is. It's a paralinguistic cue.
When
when you support words with an action, it's a paralinguistic cue. It's a good one. Thank you very much. Yeah. Now, as I was trying, and you're going to interrupt me this time, aren't you?
I'm going to try.
and the link between football and motorsport at the moment is Flavio Briatore.
Yeah.
Now, Flav, who now runs QPR, or owns QPR with Bernie Eccleston, apparently. Did you know this?
Yeah,
he's just got this massive sponsorship deal for an Italian company going into QPR. What's going to be the next thing? Is Giancarlo Fisichella going to be chosen to play for QPR or something? Or
what I find funny about that is that I've seen photos of Flav in the crowd at QPR. Now, I don't know whether you know QPR's ground.
I do, yeah.
Do you know where it is? Because it's just around the corner from where I work at the BBC.
Yeah.
And it is not the most glamorous football ground in the world.
In the middle of a council estate.
Yeah. I mean, although football grounds generally tend to be sort of in the inner city, and sometimes they're a bit scruffy, and, what's your car, mate?
Yeah.
No, it's got a dog in it. Puts out fires, does he? That famous story. Isn't that brilliant apocryphal story about Liverpudlian. Anyway, where were we? Yeah, football grounds. I'm sorry, I'm talking absolute nonsense.
No change
Can I
there.
just point out that I can contribute nothing to this at all. I know nothing about football.
Oh no,
apart
I've never
enough
been
from where the QPR ground is.
and I've never, Well, I've seen you driving down Wood Lane with
There you go.
with your headphones on in your Porsche because I thought, look, there's a man.
There's a weirdo in a
headphones
Porsche.
In a Porsche. No, because I thought,
Can
nice Porsche.
I bring this conversation to order?
I promise you, I've got a point here. Which
Go
is
on
that
then.
Loftus Road, the QPR ground, is, even by the standards of football grounds,
Yeah.
really scruffy and horrid.
yeah.
I mean, it looks shabby. It does not look like Chelsea or Man City's new stadium or anything like that. Glossy, sheeny, massive, excellent. Looks good on the highlights.
It is the Silverstone to the Shanghai of Man United's ground.
It's drafty and old-fashioned. You just look at it and you go, that is drafty and old-fashioned, like you do at Silverstone.
Yeah, that's right.
And Flav is in the crowd there. Now, I've been to Monaco, where Flav hangs out and has a nightclub, I think.
Does he?
Yeah, he's got a nightclub. It's called something awful, like
Rangers.
F1 2000 or something like that. It's just, probably called Shaggers. But anyway, has to be a platinum member to get into the VIP area. But it's a ladies' night every night.
I play football with. But
ironically, Q, P, and R are letters that Flav puts into every word he says, whether it needs them or not.
If I don't know a sign for Ferrari or Coupiar, I drive a car as a Coupiar.
I love the idea that Flav goes down to QPR, goes down Wood Lane in West London, and then down onto South Africa Road, which is the road that runs down to Loftus Road, and
it's a brilliant image,
it's
isn't
an
it?
absolute. We don't swear on this programme, do we?
No, we can't.
But it's a shithole.
It is, yeah. It's a shithole.
And it is both.
It's a f***ing shithole.
And Flav goes there with Bernard to watch the football. Why did he not? Because Chelsea was spoken for.
So
yeah.
So here's the thing, right? Why is Flav into football at this stage? I'm just wondering if it's got anything to do at all with Super League Formula, this new motor racing football crossover, which starts in Donington in August, by the way, where lots of racing cars, big V12 engines, big chassis, they sound great. I've been following it on the web, the development. Rangers have become the first British football team to support Super League Formula with a car. There's going to be a Rangers, a Gers car, as I believe they call it in football parlance. You know, do you think Flav...
I just don't get this whole thing. I just don't get this.
No, I don't either.
We've talked about this before, haven't we? And we decided we didn't understand it, and we
still don't.
But you know what? I don't give two figs about football. But the idea of these big V12 cars racing around Donington, which is a great circuit in August, with some top drivers who are going to be sort of GP2 level drivers, which is pretty darn good. It's still motor racing, so it may end up attracting more motor racing people than football people, which is no bad thing. But do you think that Flav, he could be moving into QPR because he reckons, with his knowledge of Formula One, if he put a QPR Super League team together, he could absolutely wipe the board, which is not what he's doing with Renault at the moment.
It sounds like an odd kind of conspiracy theory account for
I
why...
think he just did it because he was showing off to impress a girl.
That explanation I would buy.
That's true.
Do you really?
Wait a minute. Get my broker on the phone. Buy me a football team. QP what? No, I don't know them. Okay. I will go to the ground. Oh my God, it's a shot.
That's probably what happened. I don't know.
Let's hope it was worth it.
No, I'm making it up. Anyway, no. How weird. Flav, QPR, odd. Don't understand.
He's pumping money into it, though. I mean, he's obviously trying to bring it out of being the shit it is into being something marginally better than Silverstone. Good morning, Sven. Did you have a safe and pleasant Volvo weekend?
It was ergonomically excellent. You know, it's very quiet today in our PAG headquarters offices.
Yes, Sven, well, you must have heard the news.
I have got the part of Benny in a reproduction of Epa the movie on ice.
No, Sven. Aston Martin have been bought by Dave Richards. They have moved out many weeks ago.
I did not know this. I do not receive emails in the Sorna.
And now, Jaguar Land Rover have been bought by Tata. And they have also moved out now.
Lars, I have thought of an excellent Volvo prank. Let's go down to the empty offices, tip out the waste paper from the recycling bins, and recycle it.
No. Wait, Sven. The phone is ringing. Hello? Sven, it's the guys from IKEA. A buyout bid for Volvo? Sven, IKEA, they have seen the news and now they want to buy Volvo.
By Volvo? Have they assembled a buyout bid?
Is gehoorde begge 40 door. Dit is sap. They say we can put it together ourselves. other motor racing series we need to talk about at the moment. I danced a happy dance, and here I am. I'll reenact the happy dance for you on the radio. Slightly Irish, don't you think?
That's a river dance.
It is a river dance. Slightly happy dance when Champ Car and IndyCar seemingly merged. But the truth of what's happened is that Champ Car's gone utterly bankrupt, and it's their last-ditch hope, where they were offered an olive branch to go and humbly crawl back to IndyCar, which is itself a pitiful shadow of what it once was. And the poor Champ Car teams have had a real struggle. They've had a fortnight to get their cars ready before the first test. But it just smacks to me of, someone going, ha ha ha, we won, take that Champ Car. And that makes me sad. That's all I wanted to say about that. Are you going to watch IndyCar this year now that we got some decent drivers in it? Like Justin Wilson. Big, lovely Justin. Lovely. And this is the one I'm excited about. Alex Lloyd. Do you know who Alex Lloyd is, fellas? You don't, do you?
Funny black and white fella hung off of Clockface.
No! That was Harold Lloyd.
Oh, yeah. Blonde-haired bloke, lived in Altrincham. No, that's Roger Lloyd, who I went to school with. Damn it, I'm still confused. Who is he?
Alex Lloyd was initially chosen as the second driver for A1GP Team Great Britain.
Oh, yes.
Right? Originally it was going to be Robbie Kerr and Alex Lloyd, but once Robbie got in the car, Alex never got a look in and never got a drive, which is a great shame for Team Great Britain, because Alex Lloyd then, shunned by Britain, went to the, what's the support series called in IndyCars? Indy Lights in America, and won everything. A record number of wins in one season. Now, if he'd have been in the British car, Britain could have been the world champions in A1 by now, twice or three times over. So great was he in Indy Lights that he's now in Chip Ganassi's team in IndyCar Top Team.
So he's going to be worth following this year.
Yeah, Alex Lloyd, watch him. And the best thing about Alex Lloyd, the clue's in the name, boys and girls. Lloyd?
Tennis Lloyd?
No, think Sean Lloyd. Where does Sean Lloyd come from?
She'll be a Welsh girl then.
Oh, well.
He's not really Welsh, but he has a Welsh grandfather, so I claim him as Welsh. And I'm really pleased to say he's not the only Welsh driver making... I'm always talking about Welsh stuff, but I have to. He's not the only Welsh driver making waves at the moment. There's also...
John Lacey.
Anyone with two L's in his name will do.
John Lacey.
Sorry, John.
Very good. There's another guy. Watch out for him. His name is Howell Lloyd. Now, it looks like Hewell, because it's spelled Hywel. But in Welsh, the letter Y is pronounced not E, So it's Howell Lloyd, right? Now, Howell Lloyd, from Codwen in North Wales, Denbighshire, pretty much where I come from in North Wales, he won the BARC Formula Renault, I think, last year, and now he's in national class in Formula 3 and came, I think, third in his second race and something like fourth in his second race in the national class in Alton Park just the other week. So he's on the way, and he's the first Welsh racing driver we've had who's been any good. Since Tom Price, really. Tom Price, who died in Kyalami in the UOP, in the shadow, in a horrible accident. Yeah. So Welsh motor racing's been really sad. I'm really proud and really happy to say that Howell is in there. And the thing about Howell is, mae'n siarad Cymraeg hefyd. Mae'n gallu ddeall y iaith. Yn y car, mae'n fasu, mae'n siarad gyda'r bechgyn yn y pit, yn yr hen iaith. Sorry.
Took the words right out of my mouth.
Are available on page 888.
He's a Welsh speaker. So
are we almost done? It's just because there's an awful lot of gauze on the microphone. I'm going to wipe off with a towel.
That's the trouble with the Welsh language.
The pop shields in Radio Wales are massive.
Imagine the problem inside Howell's helmet during a race.
The pit radio, he's going to have a wiper on the inside.
It's a guttural, visceral language.
Oh, that's lovely.
Isn't it? But the reason I was going to point this up was I had a look at Howell's helmet. Pause for a gag. Howell's helmet has got exactly the design I would have if I were a professional racing driver. I put it on the website for you to see. It's a white helmet, green bottom half, diagonal, big red dragons on either side. Go Howell. He's now the official national driver of, well, 1/3 of the Gareth Jones on Speed team.
Hey, yeah, and he'll put in some good slap types. So.
Oh! Say hwyl to Howell.
Hwyl.
Body da.
Gei di sgwennu at y sioe on Speed at garethjones.tv, tan ysgrifio am rhad ac am ddim trwy iTunes, neu ffindio allan mwy yn fy safle we, garethjones.tv. Mae
Gareth Jones on speed wedi ei cynhyrchu gan Whiz Bang.